Oh, it happened again. We have a Peavey Studio Pro 112 guitar amplifier. This is a trans tube amplifier, which pretty much means it's solid state, but we get this trans tube technology over here, which kind of emulates that of a valve amp. You're about to hear this in the context of a jam track without any pedals. It's just the tones of the amplifier on the clean channel cranked. You're also going to hear both the vintage and the high gain drive channel for some of my lead solos. Let's get into it. Here's the amp up close. If we take a look at the front panel, we essentially get a 2-channel amp with 5 voicings in total. So over here, we get our clean channel. We have a master clean volume over here, and we get 2 separate voicings, vintage and modern. We get a dedicated 3-band EQ for the clean channel, which is great. With the clean channel switched down, you're on the clean channel. When you click this one up, you're then on the drive channel, which gives us 3 separate voicings. Vintage all the way down, high gain, which is very musical in the up position, and the modern setting, which is great if you like to play sort of like an 80s or 90s metal sound. So yeah, you've got that at your disposal. We also get a dedicated gain control on this channel, as well as a dedicated volume output. This 3-band EQ is completely separate to the clean channel 3-band EQ, so you can EQ these channels up and set the volume however you like. This amp's fully loaded with a real spring reverb, so if you want to dial in some reverb, you can simply use this control. And our T-Dyamics is on this side. This is kind of what makes the Peavey trans tube amplifiers a little bit special. If you want the most amount of clean headroom for using pedals, turn this to the right, and if you want the amp to break up more naturally like a lower volume tube amp, you can simply turn this down. You get more sag in your sound, and as you dig in, even on the clean channel, you can get this to break up. This amp's fully loaded with an effects loop, and we also get a switch port over here, so if you want to use an external foot switch to change between the clean and dirty channels, you can do so. We also get an external speaker out in case you want to run this into a separate cab. As you can see here, we get a 12-inch Peavey Blue Marble speaker, and being that this amp is close to 30 years old or so, it's also quite rusty on the inside, but it hasn't affected the performance whatsoever. I hope you like this video. It's a bit of a revisit of one of my favorite amps of all time. Let's get into it. Let's kick it off on the clean channel using the vintage setting, then we'll switch it to modern, and I'm also going to show you the T-Dyamics, which is currently set to all the way to the right, which is giving us the most amount of headroom. So let's have a listen to this on both pickups. So both are very usable. The vintage channel definitely has more of that sort of spanky tele or single coil tone. Yeah, if you're playing country or blues, whatever the case may be, that setting might work best for you, but you get onto neck pickup and both are very nice. Get that nice big low end there as well, it's pretty cool. All right, so let's turn the T-Dyamics down to about 50% or just under, and I'm gonna crank up the clean volume control. We'll go back to the modern setting. Now what this will do, it will give us more compression. It will also take us over the sort of clean channel threshold into that off clean tone. Have a listen to this. I'll start with the volume control down. So you start to get into that just off clean tone. I've got that pushed clean channel thing, and this is something that a lot of solid state amplifiers just can't do, or they don't do it very well. So the Peavey definitely has the advantage here. Let's try the bridge pickup. Over to the first of the 3 voicings on the drive channel. Now this is really cool. We get 3 different gain stages for 3 different styles of music. The first one is vintage, which is great if you're playing blues or classic rock, all that kind of stuff. I have the pre-gain and the post-gain set to 1 o'clock. The post-gain is the volume for that particular channel, and the T-Dyamics is all the way open, giving us that big round sound again. So this is bridge pickup. It's a really musical sound. There's also a high gain one which I really like called high gain. I'm just going to back off the pre-gain a little bit, which is the gain control. This one's sort of a mix between blues rock and sort of classic rock on the higher end. Here we go. And lastly, over to the modern setting, and I've just re-EQ'd the amp slightly to take out some of the low end. Now, if you're a metal player, you'll probably love this. It might be your favorite. For a guy like me, it's my least favorite sound, but it's pretty cool if you're into this style of music. So here we go. Yeah. Initially I bought this amplifier for myself, but a good friend of mine actually did me a huge favor recently. I thought, you know what, I'm going to gift him this amplifier because I know he was looking at it as well on Gumtree, so it'll be his moving forward. But it's just a great sounding small combo, and if you're in a situation where you might be going to a jam night or rehearsing and you don't want a complicated amplifier, or if you just want something that sounds great at moderate to sort of louder volumes, then go for an amp like this. For 200 bucks, it's pretty hard to beat.